Krill oil has become more and more popular in recent years, where it was only approved by the FDA in 1999 as a dietary supplement, whereas fish oil and cod liver oil have been around for much longer. And so the question is, what is the difference between krill oil and cod liver oil and fish oil? Because all three of those contain high levels of omega-3, which is one of the main reasons why people take this supplement. But why are some people turning to krill oil? What are some of the advantages and what are some of the disadvantages? Well, this is what I'm going to go through in this video, and make sure you stick to the end to find out how you can find good quality krill oil, because not all of them are actually worth your money. Let's begin. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven if you haven't met me already, and this video is going to be all about krill oil. This has been a video that has been requested by a lot of you over the last couple of years, ever since really making a video on fish oil and cod liver oil. And cod liver oil is something I've been taking for quite a while now. However, recently I've just started to explore krill oil, and this is something that I've started to take myself, mainly because of the advantages that this has over the other two that I'm going to go through in this video. But what they all have in common, the reason why pretty much everyone will buy either one of those, is because it's high in omega-3. It's a concentrated version of omega-3. And one of the reasons why we supplement with omega-3 and never omega-6 is because we need omega-3 and omega-6 in a healthy balance, ideally around 1 to 4, so 1 omega-3 and 4 of omega-6. However, our Western diet tends to pull this out of proportion, and this can be as high as 20 or 30 to 1. And this is particularly true if you're eating a lot of foods that are ultra-processed, fast foods. Pretty much any unhealthy food is much more likely to have high levels of omega-6 compared to omega-3, and this causes some problems in the body. And so this leads me on to what are some of the benefits of omega-3. If you want to see this in more detail, I'll go through this in more detail in my previous 2 videos, or actually 3, where I look at cod liver oil and fish oil. I'll link them at the end of this video. But just to recap, some of the benefits, one of the major ones is particularly when we increase omega-3 and decrease omega-6, we reduce inflammation in the body. So any problems you get that relate to inflammation, this can help with. And so that's going to be things like arthritis or skin issues. Even heart disease can link to that as well. And so that's the reason why then omega-3 is often taken for heart health. And it can also help improve your brain health as well. Your brain is around 60% fat, and so it needs these essential fatty acids, particularly omega-3, for proper function. So what are some of the advantages? Well, what makes this different? Well, one of the things that's been suggested about krill oil is that it's more bioavailable than cod liver oil and fish oil. Basically what that means is that when you take it, you can absorb the omega-3, you can absorb those nutrients much easier than the cod liver oil and the fish oil. Now, it's not to say that the cod liver oil and fish oil are bad in that respect. It's just that this has an advantage, and one of the reasons for this is because it's very high in phospholipids, and that helps for the oil to mix in your stomach and therefore be able to absorb much better. This is also one of the reasons why this is much less likely, or shouldn't have, that fishy aftertaste, whereas often with fish oil and cod liver oil, it will have that fishy aftertaste, even if you take it in a capsule. And the reason for this is because cod liver oil and fish oil will sit on the top of your stomach, whereas this, because of the phospholipids, actually starts to mix much easier, and so then it doesn't then come back up as a fishy aftertaste. Now, the research on the bioavailability of krill oil versus the other oils is a little bit up and down. Some research suggests that this is true, and some have seen not really much difference. One paper saw how those that took krill oil at a lower dose compared to the other group that took fish oil at a slightly higher dose had similar levels of omega-3 in the blood. So it suggests that maybe you don't need quite as much of this to get the similar levels in the blood compared to when you take fish oil. Now, because the krill is at the bottom of the food chain, it has less time to accumulate mercury. So krill oil tends to be less in the mercury compared to fish oil and cod liver oil. So that is another advantage, because we don't want too much mercury in our bodies at all. And number 3, this leads me on to one of the biggest advantages of krill oil, is that it contains a powerful antioxidant that we don't really find in many other places, and that is called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is also the reason why the capsules will look red. It gives it a distinct red color. Not sure if you can see that there. Okay, it's a blurry red, but you can see that it's red. And that's because of the astaxanthin. Like most antioxidants, this has a powerful effect in the body and protecting you against the free radicals that will run around in your body that can cause cell damage. So it can help reduce cell damage, that can therefore help reduce aging, but also help reduce disease like heart disease, diabetes, cancers, etc. Now, because of this, one research paper has shown how krill oil has been more effective at lowering your LDLs and increasing your HDLs, which therefore is better for your heart. And one of the biggest reasons that it's been suggested for this is because of the astaxanthin that this contains, but it could also be because of how it's perhaps more bioavailable, that you're able to absorb the omega-3 better than the other oils. Number 5, it contains more choline than the other oils, and this is essential for proper cell function as well as your nervous system. And number 6 is supposed to be one of the most sustainable forms of omega-3 that you can get, and I think that's another reason why it's gaining in popularity. So the question is, if you decided that actually you want to take krill oil, then how do you find a good quality one? Well, the main thing that you want to find is one that has at least 40% of the phospholipids. This is what is naturally found in there. If it doesn't have at least 40%, it's likely that they're mixing it with other oils. So you want to make sure it's at least 40% of the phospholipids. That should say on the back of the bottle. Now, I spent quite a while looking for good quality krill oil, and if you would like to buy this one, this is from Time Health, and this is a very, very good one, and also at a very good price. One of the reasons why I switched to krill oil was because it actually turns out to be cheaper than the cod liver oil, the good quality cold press extra virgin cod liver oil that I was taking. And I'm currently, because I've got some of the cod liver oil left over, I'm currently taking both at once, but I'm likely to switch to this, mainly because long term it's going to be a little bit cheaper because there's more capsules in this one and it costs less than the cod liver oil. Now, weirdly enough, whenever I read online, generally krill oil is, they say, is more expensive, and that is a downside, but I haven't found that to be the case. Even a high quality cod liver oil is more expensive than this high quality krill oil. So that's one of the reasons why I'm taking it. But yes, you want to make sure it's at least 40%, and you'll know that because when you take it, you shouldn't get the fishy aftertaste. If you do, the likelihood is because the phospholipids are very low, and that's going to make it more likely for the oil to sit closest to the top of your stomach. Now, if you'd like to get this particular supplement from Time Health, I'll put a link in the description. You can also get 15% off this if you use my code, which is Dr Steven Hulme 15. You can find that down in the description to get your own bottle. Now, as I mentioned closer to the beginning of this video, if you want to learn more about fish oil and cod liver oil and the benefits of omega-3 in a bit more detail, I go through this in my other 2 videos on cod liver oil and fish oil that you can check out just here. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.